Hello, 5th grade math students. Today we begin a brand new chapter, Chapter 12, Angles. Today's lesson, Angles on a Line, will help us understand and apply the property that the sum of angle measures on a line will always equal 180 degrees. Let's begin. Before we begin, let's recall some prior knowledge about lines, points, line segments, and rays. AC is a line. We would write it like this. A, B, and C are all points on the line. AB, when written like this, indicates the line segment from here to here. BC and AC are also line segments that are part of line AC. Next, this line, AC, is a ray. We would write that like this. A is the endpoint of ray AC, so the point of the line without the arrow goes over the A, and the arrow shows that C is a point on the ray, and A is the endpoint. CA is also a ray. XY is a ray, and XZ is a ray. X is the endpoint of each ray. An angle is formed when two line segments or rays meet at an endpoint. The endpoint where they meet is called the vertex of the angle. The first angle is formed when the line segment PO and QO meet at point O. That's called the vertex. This angle would be named angle, which we would indicate with this symbol, POQ, showing that the O in the center is the vertex. This angle that is formed by rays XY and XZ meeting at point X would be called angled YXZ. Some angles are called right angles because they measure 90 degrees at the point where they meet. Angles that are smaller than 90 degrees are called acute angles, and angles that are larger than 90 degrees are called obtuse angles. Now let's begin examining angles on a line. We're going to start by using a protractor to show that the sum of the angle measures on a line will always equal 180 degrees. Please take a look at this picture. On this picture, we have line QR, and it contains angles POQ and angles POR. We can see that when we add angles POQ and POR together, that the resulting angle is 180 degrees, or a straight line. We can also use reasoning to show that the sum of the angle measures on a line is 180 degrees. Let's take a look at this picture here. Line OS is perpendicular to line QR. Therefore, we know that the angle here is 90 degrees, correct? So let's record that off to the side here, that angle SOR equals 90 degrees. Well, we know that line QR is a 180 degree angle, therefore SOQ must also equal 90 degrees, because 180 degrees minus 90 degrees equals 90 degrees. We can write down that reasoning by recording what we can see is true about our angles. We know that SOR and SOQ are both equal to 90 degrees. What else do we know? We also know that the measure of angle POQ, this angle right here, plus the measure of angle POS, this angle right here, is going to equal 90 degrees, right? We can also see that the measure of angle POQ plus the measure of angle POR, this angle here, will equal 180 degrees because those two angles, when added together, make a straight line. Finally, we can write an equation that shows that the measure of angle SOR plus the measure of the angle of SOQ also equals 180 degrees. All right, we can see that angle SOR is 90 degrees, so we substitute that in. And now we solve for the measure of angle SOQ like it's an algebraic equation, leaving us with a 90-degree solution. Let's try some practice problems. Name the marked angles on line XY in number 2, and then state the sum of the measures of those angles. For number 3, create two equations that show the measure of the named angle is equal to 180 degrees. There are two possible answers. Find both. Press pause while you work. We'll have more to learn when you come back. Now let's explore how to find the unknown measures of angles on a line. The picture here shows that AC is a line. We are given the angle measure of CBD. How could we find the measure of angle X? Well, here's what we do know. The measure of angle X plus 55 degrees is going to equal 180 degrees. We can now solve for the measure of angle X by subtracting 55 degrees from both sides of our equation, leaving us with 125 degrees. This is like a review from algebra, correct? So angle X equals 125 degrees. Now let's solve a more complex problem. XZ is a line. Find the measure of angle Y. We're given two angle measures here. One is 65 degrees. The other is 47 degrees. So we know that the measure of angle Y plus 47 degrees plus 65 degrees will equal 180 degrees, our straight line. Let's begin by simplifying. The measure of angle Y plus 47 plus 65, which equals 112 degrees, equals 180 degrees. Now we subtract 112 degrees from both sides so that we can isolate the angle or the variable we're trying to solve for, which leaves us with the angle, the measure of angle Y, being equal to 68 degrees. Let's try calculating some of these on your own. In problems 4 and 5, you're given a line, a known angle, and an unknown angle. Solve for the unknown angle. There are some additional practice problems on the next screen, so press pause while you work and move on when you are ready. And here are the next set of practice problems. In each of the figures below, AB is a line. Find the unknown angle measures given one known angle, or two known angles. These problems wrap up Chapter 12.1 for us. When I see you tomorrow, we'll practice more reviewing our concepts in angles and finding unknown angles when giving one known angle on a line. I'll see you then.